Hello! I've been waiting for you. I'm Taren S, a High Priestess in American Witchcraft Tradition with almost 40 years experience. I'm so happy I get to open up the world of covens and magic to you. Come on in. Hello, witches! I'm so happy that you're joining us today for this discussion. Taglocks. I know. First is, what are they? Where do we buy them at? Second thing is, though, before we go into that discussion, of course, I want to say, if you are new to the House of Witchcraft, please press subscribe and, of course, notify, because we like to upload witchy content all week long. And for this discussion, I am so blessed to have with me 3 of the Cottage witches. I've got Meadow down here, Rebecca beside me, and Dana's over here. And we're going to be talking about taglocks.
Yeah, what are they?
And there's a lot of discussions, and once I start talking, y'all are going to be like, oh, that's what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
What is a taglock?
I didn't know.
Well, it's a really fancy word for putting an attachment on an item.
Yes.
As far as what type of attachment, the most common thing that we all think about, and I'm going to bring out my
little helper.
My little helper is, I know it's backwards, I'm not surprised, y'all. Because we always think, ooh, and then you're like, ooh, it's scary now. I'm not going to get too much into this. This is a Hollywood deal, but I am going to use it to reference that when you are creating a puppet or a doll of an individual, whether it is for healing or for
other things. Not healing.
Other things. Typically you want to put a personal item in there. And that is called a taglock. You have now tag-locked this item to a person.
Yes. Or thing.
Yeah.
Person, creature, or thing.
There's all sorts of different things that you can put an association to. Nail clippings, hair, urine, blood, spit.
They're writing.
Pictures of the person.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. You are creative witches. Taglocks are, if you know that person really likes to drink a certain beer, then you might take the lid of that beer and use it as your taglock. Now, there are also other ways we can use taglocks, and I got 2 witches that both have taglock stories.
Yeah.
And I want Rebecca, you're going to tell us, she's got a beautiful, how we use them for our magic ourselves.
Yeah. So I wanted to make my own wand, and so I went out looking for my own piece of wood, and I found it, and while I was looking for it, I felt inclined. I was like, also, and I don't, if anybody doesn't want to pull out their own hair, they could get it from a hairbrush. But I wanted the root of the hair, and I only needed 13 pieces, so I thought it would be okay. So as I was finding the wood, I picked out my pieces of hair, and I actually tied them together, like I knotted them together. And then when I made my wand and I put my crystal in the top of my wand, in the burrow, I wound my hair around the crystal, and then I set it inside the wand. So
that's a taglock.
It tags me to both pieces and them to each other. So.
Yes.
All right. Yes. And now, Dana's recently. You just did a really cool taglock working.
I did a taglock less than a week ago. So it just happened. I was talking to Taren a couple days ago about coming over and filming and about what we were going to film about, and she said taglocks. And I said, well, what's a taglock? Because I didn't know. I'd never heard that name before. And she explained, it's something that you use physically of that person, thing, or creature that connects it to them. And I think, I've done that for however long. I've always done things like that, and as I'm thinking that, I get a text from Taren that says, you've probably done something like this. And I was like, well, actually, I did this a couple days ago. We had just gotten a new fur animal in our family, a sweet little kitten that we had done we were so excited about her. we got her from somebody instead of a pet place, and we took her to the vet, and she tested weak positive for feline leukemia. Crushed our hearts. And we had to wait for the further test, because it could have been just that her mother had it and that she had some in her system still, or she had leukemia. It was one of those two options. And so we decided to set up a healing circle type thing at home. I had an altar going, and I had decided that day when we got the kitten back, they had done blood work on her, and she was kind of skittish, so there was a lot of blood on the bandage. So I took that bandage and I put it under my healing crystal, and the altar was based around that little tag lock that I had that I didn't even know. And so then I'm sitting there talking about it with Taren, and I think, oh, I've got one on my altar right now.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
I got that going.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are doing what feels right, odds are you're going to later on come across other information resources where you're like, oh, I've already been doing it like that. It's not that you read it. It's not that you saw it. You did what felt right.
It's intuition, trusting your intuition, just doing. I mean, I didn't read somewhere to do that. I just felt like I should do it. And
You know, not everyone's like me and the Miss Frazzle library who's sitting up reading these old dusty occultist books and going, they're called taglocks.
Did you know?
And at the same time, we do need to know what they are called. They do have a proper name. What you are doing has a historical place in magic.
Yes.
All right? So keep doing, you boo. Keep wrapping your hair around your magical items. Use blood magic for healing purposes. Not only did Dana give us a great example of a taglock, but she also did a blood healing working. A lot of times we think about the blood, the sanguine magic in dark areas, not understanding that, oh my gosh, it is one of the most healing magical items that you can use in the right circumstances.
And her test came back negative, by the way. So, Kitten is healthy.
You know, and that's where every little bit helps. We're not making any claims. We're just saying.
No, it was one of those, you know, and as I was doing the altar and put it together, I had a moment like that. You know, this might not work, and I understand, but also at the same time, it does not hurt, in my opinion, to put a little bit of that positive
put
healing energy.
everything you can.
Yeah.
Oh, as they have proven over and over again, the folks that are prayed for get healthier.
Right.
Power of prayer is real.
That energy
And when you
direction,
can put the taglock of blood into that working,
so much powerful.
you're creating some really good power.
Yes.
All right, which is, I want to hear how you all are taglocking.
Yes, put it in the comments. Tell us.
I would love to know.
Did you have one for us, Madam?
Well, kind of. I had to move recently, and I've lived on my property for a long time, and there was a house available for rent next door to it. Like, there was a gate onto my property, and I was like, I need to be the one who gets this house, because I have to move out of this house, and I need to still be here on my land. So what I did was I took a twig from one side of the property and one from the other, and bound them with my hair. So I bound myself to the land, and guess where I live now, so, you know.
She's never lived
So I live there now.
And that's another good example. I mean, beyond just the hair itself, you could have simply used the rock from that land as a tag, or as that for the land itself. Earlier when we were talking about it, when I was trying to define in my own book what a taglock was, I didn't want to define it to just people. I wanted to be able to use it for land, for animals, for spirits.
Yes, well, that's what I was doing. I was binding myself to the land.
Exactly.
So that was my house because it was on my land.
There's so many
Energy runs
ways
through everything. So.
that you can use it. This is one of those, we're creative witches.
And what feels right. Yeah.
Be creative.
And all the different ways you can use it.
I know, it sounds different.
And it's back to the golden rule. Use what you have, use what you need. Because everything you have and need is right there around you. You just got to be creative enough to grab a hold of it and everything. And so, of course, leave in the comments below your good taglocks. All right, witches, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you have a bright, blessed day. And you know, as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a-bo-bo.